We're joined now by UC Irvine coach Russell Turner and student-athlete Oferi Ugandale. Coach, if you would please start us off with some opening comments, and we'll take questions afterward.
Okay. Thanks all of you for being here. Difficult night for us to come up short. That's obvious, I guess. But I couldn't be prouder of our team. Let me say that first. And congratulations to UC San Diego. They're an outstanding basketball team. Both teams were ready to play tonight. It was a competitive game, and they were able to pull away from us in the second half. Credit to them for that. They were excellent. Hayden Gray had an outstanding game. It looked to me like we ran out of gas a little bit. We didn't have the same pop in the second half offensively as we did in the first half. And some of the credit for that has to go to San Diego. But again, I couldn't be prouder of my team and the people who were part of it, especially this guy next to me, the all-time leader in games played in the Big West. Proud of all my guys. And disappointed tonight, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Questions?
Jacob Ramos, UC Irvine University. Coach, first of all, congrats on everything from the season. Congrats on everything in the season. Congrats on a great career and the Big West all-times game played record. Tonight, the crowd, including the students from UC Irvine, were incredibly invested. And first of all, I just want to say I'm very proud to be an Anteater today. But can you talk a little bit about kind of the emotions right now and what you're looking forward to in recapping this season with your team full of seniors and just very talented players and student athletes?
Yeah, thanks for mentioning the pride that you feel as an Anteater tonight. I recognize this team creates a lot of that, and I feel great about it. And it's because of guys like O and many others on our team. I think San Diego has the same feeling and probably feels it even more because they won tonight. College basketball can be a great thing for universities and for communities in building pride and school spirit. And I feel like we did that with our performance all year and tonight, even though we came up short. It's really difficult to come up short when you care so deeply about one another as a team and about what we have the opportunity to do. And we're all really appreciative as part of our program of the opportunity to represent a great university like UC Irvine and to play with people we care about and love and who have great character and represent Anteaters really well. So I'm appreciative of that. And we're not done this year. We know that based on our performance, there'll be postseason play for us, but it's undeniable the devastating feeling of falling short of the goal of playing in March Madness. It's hard to describe that in a league like ours, in a situation like ours where we knew if we win, we would reach the mountaintop, and if we did not win tonight like we didn't, we would feel like we failed. That's hard.
This is Marshall Olmos, KSTT Sports, UC San Diego Radio. This one's for Oferi. You've been playing a long time at UC Irvine. This year, these 3 games against UC San Diego had incredible atmospheres every single time. What has that done to the team, and how much has it built the friendly rivalry between the two schools, and how much does that add to motivation when this matchup comes along on the schedule?
Yeah, I think there's definitely been a rivalry going on. I mean, they got the best of us. We beat them once, they beat us twice. That's kind of how it goes. But, yeah, I mean, the group of guys we have, the atmosphere, our student athletes, our fans, our community, just really appreciative of them and what they've done for us this entire season. And like Coach said, our season isn't over yet, so we're still looking to have that same support. But, yeah, I think there's going to be many battles to come between us and them, and hopefully we win more.
Yeah, I want to take a moment to give UC San Diego credit, not just for how they played tonight, but for the impressive process that their university leadership, overall leadership and athletic leadership and head coaching leadership have shown in alignment to build that program. They've invested heavily, and they were rewarded tonight for their heavy investment, which looks like it's something that should continue to grow based on the reactions of the people there in their community. I hope that we can continue to do the same thing at UC Irvine.
Hi, Alan Zhang, UCSC Guardian. Leuchten had a decent first half, but in the second half, he started struggling a little bit. Do you have any explanation on why that is, and what would you do next time to get him more chances there in the second?
Yeah, it's a good question. I give San Diego some credit for the physical nature of the defense they played against Bent. I thought they wore him out. There were not a lot of fouls called in the game, and I'm not saying that there should have been, but it was a physical game, and we did look like we tired. We wore down. I tried to play Bent in limited minutes last night so that he would be able to perform his best in the second half of this game. And I wasn't able to find enough ways to help him do that. And, that's a tough one as a coach when you have a talent like Bent, a difference maker like Bent, for us to not be able to better utilize him in the second half. That's a failure for me and my staff.
Mark Sigler, San Diego Union Tribune. Your defensive scheme obviously is focused on taking away Magai and playing Tate Jones differently than he normally has played. Does that leave you a little susceptible for Gray having the kind of night he had?
Well, it obviously did tonight. And give Hayden Gray credit. He's played at a really high level and rose to the occasion tonight, made some key big baskets that were well contested in the first half, I thought, when we were building a lead. And so he showed senior veteran, impressive point guard leadership with his shot making. He did that against both our combination defenses with zone, and he did it also when we went man-to-man. He was outstanding and kept them afloat in the first half, and then made the big plays in the second half too. He made big shots. We didn't turn the ball over. I thought we did a good job tonight, other than the first 4 minutes, of not turning the ball over, which was the key. I thought if we could do that, we'd have a great chance to win, but we weren't able to assert ourselves around the rim the way I thought that we would throughout the second half. Again, credit to them on that, but Hayden Gray was outstanding.
Jaden Hunter, New University, UC Irvine. This is a question for Coach. What was the main message to the seniors who will not be returning next year? Obviously, it was a very emotional night for us, but what was the message to them in the locker room after the game?
Well, my message to everybody was one of pride and love for the people in that locker room. We're not finished, so I didn't do an extended conversation about what these guys have meant to our program. But O'Fury and Justin have been here a long time, and couldn't be more grateful to them for their contributions to our program and the way they've represented this university. Obviously, we know that Bent is finished too. All the other guys have choices that they've got to make. So I didn't think tonight was the time for extended accolades to those seniors. But there will be a time because the impact that they've had in winning, doing things at an impressive level that represents us all so well in the UC Irvine community is something that I'll always cherish and should be greatly admired by all the Anteaters.
We have time for two more.
Coach, UC San Diego took kind of a unique, at least in Division I, approach to building their roster with Division II guys. Their three best players are all Division II transfers. I think they start 4 of them. What are your thoughts on that and sustainability of that going forward? And did you think that could even work at this level?
It's obviously working. And there are a lot of different ways to build rosters. And I feel like ours, we figured out a few great things to do around here at Irvine too. You know, the aggressive nature that UCSD has had in the recruiting as things have changed with the transfer portal and NIL is something that I admire. I admire that from their coaching staff. I admire that from their athletics administration. I admire that from their university. They've made basketball important, and they found ways to build on the identity of a transitioning team and appeal to players that fit great for them and with them. And that's what all of us are trying to do, trying to figure out how to build a program that's sustainable. To this point, it has been for them. They lost 2 really fine players to the transfer portal and then were aggressive in replacing them. That's now going to be the name of the game for all of us, figuring out how to attract quality student athletes who are great fits in our universities and who fit together as a team. I think that's what is special about UCSD is the way they fit together as a team. Obviously, Tate Jones, as the player of the year, is the leader in that in terms of his talent and effectiveness in gluing those other guys together. But you saw Hayden Gray play an outstanding game tonight. Both those guys are Division II products. Capich hit a big shot. And I love Division II basketball. I was a Division III player. There's players who can play everywhere, and all those players now have value. So I respect Coach Olin, who won a national championship in Division II. Those don't come easy. He's done an outstanding job of building on the identity that he created there and extending it now into the Division I era. So it's really admirable, and I think you're right to ask that question, but there should be just real pride in the way that's come together for their university leadership, athletic leadership, and coaching staff and players.
One last one up front.
As you said before, this season is not over. If you had one message to send to the NCAA committee about your team, what would you say about them and why they're deserving to go to March Madness?
You know, thank you for asking that. I don't think there's any chance that we're going to be rewarded with an at-large bid. And I think that's a difficult reality that we face because we can't get the type of games that they're going to say that they reward. And I meant what I said, what they say they're going to reward. The system is not set up as it is now for mid-majors like us to be able to get an at-large bid without exceptional circumstances. It would have been interesting if we had won tonight if UC San Diego could get one. Maybe they could have because their numbers are better, but I imagine they would have found a way to exclude them, which is unfortunate. Back to the premise of the question, what would I say about our team? We led the nation this year in road wins. We had 14 road wins. We had 3 wins in a neutral floor somewhere up in Canada against really good teams. We played a schedule that was as difficult as we could find. We could not get any more better games. We have to wait till it's 2 a.m. at the bar to get anybody to agree to play with us. And we've scheduled aggressively every year. We won many of those games this year, and we didn't win enough of them. The road games that we agreed to where we get paid, we didn't win enough of them. Those are nearly impossible to win. And they're nearly impossible now for us to schedule because we've won some of them. It's a tough dilemma that we face, but it's not one that we cry about. It's one that we embrace. We needed a win tonight, and that's one of the reasons it hurts so deeply that we did not. If UC San Diego was able to convince themselves that they could get in without it, maybe it freed them up of a little pressure. I don't know. I thought my guys responded incredibly well to the pressure tonight. I thought we just wore out.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks.